So it has come to this. Good men, torn from their kin, to rage and spill the blood of other men's foes. But we will not be forgotten.
Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to OLC TV for something new. CA has very kindly given me access to a Total War Saga Troy. Brand new game coming out in a couple of days time, this week I believe. They've given me early access, and what I'm doing is a faction preview of all of the different factions playable. This is unlike my Perfect Start campaign. I haven't had the time really over the last few days to put in to actually make sure that I understand each of the factions well enough to do that. But if you are interested in me doing a Perfect Start series for this game, please leave comments below and I will get round to it in the very near future. Instead, this is a faction preview where we're going to go through the first few turns and see how each faction plays, because the factions do play very uniquely. Now, I've spent most of my time playing as Odysseus and as Achilles, who are both a lot of fun. I haven't spent as much time, I haven't completed my own campaign yet as the Trojans, though I have been playing as Hector very recently. But today we are going to be looking at Sarpedon, the king of Lycia, and he is quite interesting. Hailing from the land of Lycia, Sarpedon is renowned on both sides of the Aegean for his valour and mastery of war's brutal arts. He is said to be the son of almighty Zeus himself. Yes, he is reputedly the son of almighty Zeus, and he has a very interesting faction play style that I think, let's just shove this on legendary, that I think is most similar to, if you're going to compare with Total War 3 Kingdoms, most similar to Kong Rong, except he can wield a bloody great axe, which makes him a lot more interesting in my mind. However, and I will say this as a disclaimer before we get into it, of all the factions I have played as, and I've put a few hours into each of them, even if not a whole campaign for all of them, here's the one who I find the most challenging to fight battles with. His economy, piss easy. He has lots of bonuses to that. But battles, I don't know why I suck so hard, but I do. Anyway, Sarpedon, king of Lycia, starting situation easy, victory conditions. Like every game, you have a Total War victory, which is just win everything. You also have a Homeric victory, so this allows you to follow through your hero's journey through the epics. And he has 10 missions to do. He also needs to, of course, win the Trojan War, so you've got to take out Mycenaean, Sparta, and Knossos. He also has to collect, specific to himself, 50 Minoan relics, 50 celestial iron, and 50 white granite. This is related to his faction mechanics, the precious resources. He gets to stockpile precious resources produced in provinces and spend them for unique faction-wide effects, which is the celestial iron, which will improve battle performance of all units, Minoan relics, which will increase influence and grant divine favour, and white granite, which reduces construction cost and construction time of all buildings. So if you collect these, and you are the only faction I think that can, you really get massive bonuses to how your faction plays in quite a balanced way, because your troops will be improved greatly. You will be able to improve your influence, which then allows you to get more of these resources, and you'll get divine favour, which aids you in battle with your economy, depending which gods you work with. And then, of course, the white granite, which reduces construction costs and construction time of all buildings. So when you start to get some of these in, you can really take your economic aims on a massive roll and start stockpiling cash and buildings and everything else super quickly. And then on top of that, your troops will become better and better and better, and the gods will love you more, which makes you an unstoppable force. He gets the Lycian trade missions, which allows you to spread your influence to other faction territories. Now, influence is very important, because it means that when you take over settlements, they like you more, you have less chance of there being issues, you're very quick to subdue them. It also allows you to, in Sarpedon's case, steal existing barter agreements that a faction has with another faction. So this is essentially taking control of their trade routes and getting that faction to trade with you instead of another faction. This is very powerful. It also allows you to buy precious resources from their territories for gold. Gold has many uses in this game, mostly for higher tier units, top end buildings, divine favor and the like, and for just generic trade. But you can use it to buy these precious resources, which will build up your other resources, your economic and your military situation very, very quickly. His recommended play style, he combines fast, light troops with armor-piercing weapons and extremely mobile chariots used for flanking support. So, when you read this, it should be ideal for my play style, but it just doesn't work for me, and I don't know why, and you'll see that in the battles. I'm just not very good with him. Like, Achilles is the absolute opposite of how I play, but he's really easy to use. Sarpedon, I don't know why, it just doesn't work for me. Heroes, like all factions, he can recruit 3 out of the 4 different hero types. So he can recruit the archers, he can recruit defenders, and he can recruit warlords. He cannot recruit fighters. So, you know, it means that you don't have your sort of champion type character, but you've got everyone else there. And, you know, you don't really need the champion type character with everything else you've got. Unique faction units, he has the Companions of Sarpedon, heavy axe and shield infantry that cause terror. These guys are brutal, but they are top tier and are bloody expensive. He has as well, and you start off with some of these, some Lycian champions, 2-handed axe infantry. They are heavy class, they are chargers, meaning they really pack a punch when they hit. They have excellent armor piercing damage and they cause terror. They don't, however, have a great amount of staying power. They do, as you can see, have similar armor, but melee defense is not quite as high as these guys, and they are prone to being flanked. Lithium-Winged Chariots are light chariots. They skirmish, they are mounted, of course, and they're swift-footed because they are bloody quick. These guys are really, really good for getting in behind the enemy units and causing chaos and damage. They also have a relatively good charge as well. And you can certainly use them for mopping up enemy skirmishers, especially slingers, which are just crap, very, very effectively. So a little bit more about Sarpedon. Hailing from the land of Lycia in Asia Minor, the legendary hero Sarpedon was renowned on both sides of the Aegean for his valour and prowess in battle. A formidable warrior who has inspired terror in the enemy and courage in his men, he was said to be the son of almighty Zeus himself. The Iliad celebrates the Lycian ruler as a fearless commander who contributed to many victories, and whose fighting spirit rivaled that of Hector. When his Trojan allies led the charge against the newly built Aegean wall, Sarpedon and his steadfast Lycians held the battlements and were the first to enter the rival camp. He was faithful to his friends and merciless to those who opposed him, waging war with the might of the kings and of the gods flowing through his veins. He's the son of Zeus and Laodamia, so he gets 5+ battle speed to chariots in his army, and he gets +10 deal evaluation for all diplomatic agreements except for barters. So he is very, very strong diplomatically, and he has the fastest chariots around. Right, that's enough about him. Let's get into this game. Oh, by the way, I do love this here. It says prove your honor. So every faction has its own one. Like Odysseus will say set sail. Achilles says become a legend, stuff like that. It's just a little... The Total War Saga series are where, you know, they're smaller than the main games. They are really mainly used for testing out new mechanics and the like, because they don't use a new engine. But this game, they've really put a lot of effort into like the small details, which I'm just loving, absolutely loving. Anyway, enough of me bleating on, let's get into the game.
Are we mere playthings of the gods? Or do we plead divine influence to justify our foolish choices?
He's taken her! He's taken my wife! You've risked the safety of Troy.
Troy is my home now.
You have my oath, brother. She will be returned to you. Brother, I can fight. Go, seek shelter. There'll be plenty of fighting ahead.
The wrath of Aegean will descend upon Troy. Paris acted in love, but he has incited war. Whether the walls of Ilios will endure, only the gods can tell. Ah, divine Sarpedon. Long ago, your people were banished from rich and beautiful Crete by the forefathers of Menelaus. The coming war between the Achaeans and the Trojans could present a long-awaited opportunity to retake the island.
My experience and wisdom may serve Troy well.
Lycia is Troy's ally. You share a common destiny with King Priam. To the north are the ruins of settlements destroyed by raiding tribes. These can be recolonized. To the east lie the lands of the Leleges. These tribes wage war on the coastal Ionians. Across the sea, on rich and beautiful roads, the Achaeans have established prosperous settlements. From these, they hope to keep you at bay. On the mainland to the north are their Achaean allies. They represent a chance for trade and possibly conquest. Further north are your kin, the Carians. They can be trusted in times of need. Become familiar with your interests, your friends, and your enemies. Make them all work for you.
Okay, so here we are. Now, I was talking about the attention to detail in the game beforehand, and I love it for many, many things, but there's one thing that irks me about this, and that is when you do this introduction bit here, the old dude here doesn't move his lips. And I don't know whether this is a setting or not. I have played around with it, but I've never seemed to get it to work, because I do see when he's talking and Sarpedon replies, or he's talking and Achilles replies, or whoever, you can see the little character's lips moving, so I don't know why they don't have the big grey-haired man moving. Anyway, Lycia, how they play. Precious resources. The people of Lycia value greatly items that hold little meaning to most other mortals. In times of need, Sarpedon can acquire these and use them to boost the productivity and affluence of his subjects. Lycian trade missions. Sarpedon is eager to extend his tribal influence over foreign territories, for in this way he can convince traders to send their caravans to lofty Lycia instead of other destinations. The caravans may then bring him precious resources discovered in their homelands. So, Baby's first battle is always the first mission. They give you a little bit more tutorial detail in this than you get in most other Total Wars, whether you ask for it or not. But it's the standard thing, warmongers of insert faction here if advanced, go smash their faces. And with Sarpedon, it's very, very easy to start, because you've got these chaps here, which are actually the same tribe as you, the Leleges. So they are friendly with you. There's these guys down here who aren't particularly keen on you, and it gives you an opportunity for expansion. You have these guys who are not particularly keen on you, and it gives you an opportunity for expansion probably earlier than the guys down south. And you have all of this territory up here for the taking, and it's not wholly expensive to take it. Unfortunately, like your starting province, this is the third city for whatever reason. And these guys here, where is it? Let me click on it. Balbura. For example, Tlos is held by these people who could well be very, very good friends, so it's not the end of the world. But you can take all of this, and that's going to provide you with a lot of food coming in, and food is essential for the upkeep of your armies. Now, you'll notice from the first screen, you can see that we have these little squares here, which let you know what the settlement does. Now, this, of course, is a provincial capital. This is a farm settlement. This is a stone quarry. This is a forest settlement. Do we have any other examples? No. You can get bronze as well, and there are very, very sparse gold resources. And you do want to have a balanced amount of everything eventually. But obviously, early game, you can't guarantee that, so you need to focus a little bit. Now, we have pretty good food, pretty good wood, stone, bronze, quite a lot coming in, and gold, quite a lot coming in per turn. But we can improve this by checking out royal decrees. Royal decrees are essentially same as technology improvements, and each one of these starting ones, like the treasure hall, royal bronze, royal granaries, royal stone, and royal timber, will give you a certain, like a small amount ticking over per turn. Now, if we have a look at our immediate needs, now we're going to thump these guys here. Our roads is off down over here. We're at war with them. They're not going to be very quick to deal with. We may want to turn our attention to these chaps here, but we don't know what they have in all their settlements. We do know they have wood. We've got food up here, so we're not going to need food in a hurry. So my choices would either be to go for the wood or the stone. I think we will go for stone in the meantime. 7 turns. We'll go for stone in the meantime, just because I think we'll be able to take out some wood quickly. Now, up here as well, we have your objectives, so you can check how you are doing with your objectives. Obviously, the Royal Decrees, which is your technology. Diplomacy, where you can barter and do all lots of cool things. So let's go have a look at the Carians here. So the Carians are our buddies. They're all part of the same Leleges tribe, Clower and Carians. And if we have a look...
said to have brought him wisdom.
Thank you, Nasties. If you have a look here, you can see basically what everything will cost you to do it. So military access is a +5, and I'm going to do this just as an example. So we're buddies with these guys. We have a non-aggression agreement, but they're not particularly keen on a defensive alliance or a military alliance. But we can persuade them to. We do this, then we can give them something. They really, really, really want stone, bronze, and gold. We make quite a lot of bronze, so we can offer them quite a lot of bronze, and we could eventually get this to work balanced in the same way Total War 3 Kingdoms works. However, that's not what I'm wholly interested in. I'm just showing you an example. Down here we have a barter agreement and we have a single barter. A single barter is a one-time exchange of resources, a bit like the demand resource function. A barter agreement is a longer-term trade agreement that can go from 5 to 10 turns trading resources. So for them, they have a lot of wood. So they don't want wood if we were going to trade it with them, but they want all of this. I need wood. So what I can do is ask these guys to provide me with a chunk of wood, so 30 wood per turn for 5 turns. Were we to move this to 6, it becomes more expensive and they're less interested. Now, if I want to just do a make weight with this, then I can ask them to throw in some food. There we go, we get 9 food and 30 wood per turn from them. That's going to build up our relationship with them as well. They've accepted that. Fantastic. Slower here, they're relatively friendly. They would like a non-aggression pact. We're all part of the same tribe, so there's no real loss for me to get involved with these guys. And notice as well, Sarpedon has these wonderful things here. Non-aggression pacts, barter agreements, and military access. These are things because we have high influence. Because we have high influence, we can persuade them to break their existing treaties with another faction. I don't know if he has one. I don't think, yeah, he doesn't have one. But if he has one, we can get him to break it with them and join our own agreement. Okay? Now, what do I want for this? Let's have a look. He also has lots of wood. So let's get in a chunk of wood. That's not bad. We'll have some food on top just to make ends meet. Fantastic. Brilliant. Agree. I'm not going to give him military access because I don't want him walking all over my lands. We're at war with Rhodes, which we know about, and then the other Achaeans that we know of around here don't particularly like us. The Pelasgians. Ancient Greek is not my thing. They are quite friendly with us, and we all have existing agreements with them, and we can negotiate. Oh, keep forgetting this isn't Total War 3 Kingdoms where the buttons are. And you can negotiate with them for military alliances, like Hector and Paris are both very interested in that, whilst Priam is less interested in one of those deals. So that's your diplomacy. After diplomacy, you have divine will. Now, divine will is dealing with the gods. And you have 2 options, the prayer or the hecatomb. The hecatomb is basically providing just food. The prayer is food and gold. Prayers give you different effects to the hecatomb. The hecatomb boosts your respect from the gods, and each of the gods will give you different bonuses. So you can see, like for example, Zeus will give you plus 20% melee attack of club units and 50% missile damage javelin units if he goes above 50 respect, and the hecatomb will give you 70. Ares has his own things, Apollo has his own things, Athena, Poseidon, and Aphrodite. Each of these gods will give you different bonuses, and you can, you don't have to just stick with one god. You can do multiple gods if you want. But bear in mind that respect will tick down over time. So you need to keep giving them stuff to keep the respect up, which can come quite expensive. One of the ways to get around that is to build temples to them as well. But each of these do different things. For me, quite early on, I quite like getting the recruitment capacity up, because you always get in this game, there's always, I think every Total War is build up your army missions, and this allows you to do it a little bit more quickly. However, I don't have a huge amount of food, and I don't want to waste a ton of food on that until I know what else I can do. Building options? No, before we get there, precious resources, sorry. Precious resources, this is Sarpedon's unique function. So this button is different for every single faction. Sarpedon seeks and stockpiles rare goods which others overlook. As soon as Lycia owns a settlement with deposits of precious resources, her people will begin gathering. The son of Zeus can make use of these goods to improve his faction's construction, strengthen the military, or gain favour with the gods. So we have white granite, which is taking off. Celestial iron we have none of, and Minoan relics we have none of. So, white granite here. If we have 20 of it, we can distribute the resources, and we will get a -1 construction time to all main buildings. We'll get some ancillaries, and we'll get reduction to stone construction costs faction-wide. If it's celestial iron, if we have enough distribute resources, we can get increase in melee attack, melee defense, and some ancillaries. And if it's Minoan relics, we get favour from the gods, which is wonderful, ancillaries, and influence faction-wide. But we need to have enough of them. Now, we are producing our own white granite from our own resources. You can also trade these from other factions as well if they have them. Use your gold to buy them. And you can see they have massive bonuses. But it's going to take some time before we really see the best out of them. Then we have Lycian trade agreements. So, as I said before, you can get the other people to break trade agreements, and you can ask them for precious resources. So, for example, the Carians have lots and lots of celestial iron. Shows how much precious resource section has in their region. So they have 60 of it. These chaps has no barter agreements we can take advantage of, but they also have some celestial iron. They have nothing, they have nothing, they have nothing, and these guys have Minoan relics. So if we're going to go to the Carians because they love us, we can ask for precious resources. That's 20 gold, and they will give us 5, as you saw there. So it's not bad. It's a little bit expensive, but you know it works. 5 of them. Our persuasion has been successful. Wagons full of exotic goods have arrived, ready to be put to use. We just need another 4 of those, and we can make use of them in our armies. Now, Telemesos and Kalinda both have building options. With the building options for the main settlements, you of course are limited to how high your your main settlement in the region has grown. So this is rank 3, so I can only currently build up to rank 3. However, we can upgrade this all the way up to rank 5. In the minor settlements, you are limited solely. There's a hard limit to rank 3. So for buildings like this, for example, where it goes above up to rank 4, there is no point building it unless you're really desperate for this specific bonus that this building brings, because you're not going to get the top tier bonuses. Now, you also have here specials. These are unique buildings that can only be built in this region. And sometimes this can give you some very interesting things, like the Lithium-Winged Chariots, like the Companions of Sarpedon, like the renowned Kapesh fighters. All of these guys are only available when you have the special buildings. All the rest of them are a little bit more generic, and they will bring you many, many bonuses. We've got lumber warehouse, food warehouses, chieftain hall, mud brick houses, and then here are the altars, which can build up your favour with different gods. Now, actually, with Kalinda, I want to focus on this one because we need more stone. And I am going to, I think, throw in a stone -10 there. That has used up all of our wood, unfortunately. Sarpedon's army isn't wonderful at the beginning. He has these Anatolian youths who are not very good. They are light troops, they move relatively quickly, they're unhindered by most terrain types, but they have a poor attack. They do have a shield which gives them a little bit of defense against skirmishers. We do have the Lycian axe warriors who are chargers, and they hit hard. We have some eastern slingers who are just not as good as javelins. They don't have the armor piercing, but they are good versus missiles, and they do have an extended range, and they do have a lot of ammunition. So they do have a place. I just prefer to have the armor piercing. I prefer to have less range, more armor piercing, frankly. And then the Lithian-Winged Chariots, who are incredible. Now, recruitment, unfortunately, is not like Total War 3 Kingdoms. It is like Warhammer, so you click on them and then you have to wait a turn. Not Odysseus. Achilles has his own thing where he can just instantly recruit units. Unfortunately, you can't do that with every faction, so we are limited. And you can see as well, when you recruit units, you have to spend bronze if you want them to be armored, wood if it's a chariot, as well as gold. You know, they multiple resources do affect how you can build your armies. It isn't just the amount of cash you have. Right, with all of that said and done, it's time to go smash Cleon. So, Cleon, no god is on our side because I haven't asked for favour from the gods. Down here is a button that says Scout Terrain, so you can see the tactical map, and they have tweaked how battles work as well with the tactical map. Before, in Total War 3 Kingdoms, I thought they were quite good with how the undulations of the map and the forest and everything else can be used for ambushes and for hiding troops. They've taken that to a new level with this. To me, I don't know if any of you guys ever played Total War Arena, the online version. You know, you command 3 units, but they seem to have taken elements of that and made it better, where the long grass allows certain troops to hide in it, but other troops are less effective at hiding in it. Forests, of course, everyone can hide in. The water will desperately affect heavy troops, but lighter troops will be less affected by it. Mud will just slow troops down to a crawl unless they're lightly armored. You know, medium troops can get away with a lot of movement, but also they're still bogged down by certain things. It takes it to a whole new level, and it means that the battles, although it's using the Warhammer 2 engine and therefore can be a tiny bit arcadey, it still gives you, you know, quite a lot to work with, which, you know, I really, really enjoy. You also have this here, the weather conditions. So you can just wait. You can get wet weather if you want it, dry weather, all the rest. I, of course, have archers, so wet weather does not do any favors for me, so I'm not going to wait. We have battle lines here, and you can see right in front of us we have tall grass. Tall grass provides cover for light infantry. We don't have mud on this map that I can see. We do have forests and scrubs, which allows some troops to hide as well. It reduces the speed combat efficiency of large units, and it provides 40% chance for missiles to be blocked. So it's really quite good. And because of that, this is where we want to advance. So I'm going to have my axes in the rear line. Yeah, you guys can come here because you're fast anyway. And yeah, you guys can be over here. Sarpedon over on this side. Right. You 3 units can just head right up into there. Slingers, I want you to advance over here. And you guys, you know what? Bugger off round the flank there. So, flanking is king in this game. And he's defending the passes here. I'm attacking him, so he doesn't seem to have a huge amount of missile troops, but what he does have are these skirmishers, and they are brutal. So what I want to do is fight him here, ideally, get my guys into the forests, so that when we do have a fight, his skirmishers can't really do a huge amount of damage to my people. And then I want to use my Lycian axe warriors as a flank charge. If that happens, I'll be super happy. There's no guarantee. Like I said, I am not particularly good with Sarpedon. Right. You chaps can start to advance up here because you will be very, very good against these skirmishers. The Javelin Infantry, if we just have a look at them, they do have a shield, which makes them slightly harder to die, but they are light infantry and therefore they are susceptible to sling infantry. You do get like the young spears. They have 2-handed spears and no shields. They die super quickly to them, but they do hit hard, these guys. They hit surprisingly hard. Go on, throw your rocks. Now, Sarpedon, he has a special move, the Dread of Ares, which is really, really good at knackering the morale and stamina of the enemy. But he needs to build up his rage meter to do it. So the more he's in combat, the more his rage meter will grow, and therefore he'll be able to use this move. Right, if they're going to come straight at us, let's just shift over here. Axes can come here. Sarpedon over here. That's right, you've seen me. Go! Excellent, we're up there. Now, my chariots, I haven't forgotten about you. You're going to come around here. Yep, you just keep pounding them. You chaps stay put. You guys advance here. We're going to need to get you in the flank. Sarpedon is
is under attack.
going to town on these guys. Now, I cannot wait for blood, as always. I wish it wasn't always a wait, but it is. But the animations for this game are pretty good. They're not bad at all. And I really enjoy just the colours and the fighting. I think it's brilliant. Right, you boys, axes, get in there. I've pissed about too much. Get into the face of those young spears before they get an opportunity to charge. You guys, I want you to advance. I want you to cause havoc here. These axes have now come into their flank. These light swordsmen are shaken. How are we doing? We're not exactly there yet. Do you know what? Get a charge in, because our charge isn't bad at all for these chariots. It's not bad at all. We've got them on relatively flat ground. And that will allow me to shift my slingers up here so they can throw into the rear lines. Yeah, we've got them. We're going to smash them, and they should break. Yep, off they pop. And then we can shift you over here, please. Now, these guys should come back because they're not completely broken, unless, like our arrows, we've got 360-degree arc of fire, unless our arrows do something special to them. But what we do have are the young spears, who are better than my Anatolian youths, are here. And we're going to need to deal with them. So a nice rear charge should do the trick. You guys, throw your rocks into their flank, please, if you don't mind. Oh, Sarpedon, get your head in the game, boy. What are you doing standing in the back line? Bosh. Right in there. Look at them. Wavering, damage sustained. Can we do an end game on them? Apparently we can. Excellent. No. Not Sarpedon. You're getting in there, Sarpedon. You guys shift up here. Chariots, stay on them. You guys can come over here and rear charge. You boys have broken them. I'm going to need you on. You're chasing. Sarpedon's chasing. Axes on them. Spears, I think we can go for them. They have completely broken. We don't need you to chase them anymore. So when they have this flag here, that means they're shattered. What we're going to do is head off in that direction. You're going to go there. You boys go help Sarpedon. You keep chucking at those light swordsmen. You keep chasing those light swordsmen. Do you know what? Spears, you can keep chasing those guys too, just to make sure they don't come back. The chariots have smashed them. Do you know what? We don't need you there anymore. Stay put. Chariots can go off here and go smash another unit, make sure they run away and don't come back. And then these guys will keep them running, which is the important thing. Cleon is doing a good job of holding his nerve. I'll give him that. Go on. Pop this on him. That's going to knack his morale. We just need him to break and it's game over. Guys, I don't need you doing that. Stop throwing rocks in there. We've got this. We've got this. Come on, Sarpedon. Hit him in the face. Right, they have broken. Off you go. That direction, please. Victory. Victory is ours. End battle. Close victory. Like I said, I'm not very good with this guy. We lost a few of our frontline troops, but our skirmishers did really well, and look at the kills our chariots got. They went crazy in that battle. But I have to say as well, my troops were just simply not as good as a lot of his troops. His sword troops were better than the majority of my troops. Only my axes were better. But you have the standard options. Lives as barter gives you food. Spill their blood is morale to your units, and take them on will be replenishment. I'm going to take them on for the replenishment. And we have defeated the enemy. Now we have muster the troops, so we need 12 troops to be recruited. Cleon is dead. Wonderful. Now what I am going to do is actually shift up towards Balbura, because we'll be able to claim this for 468 food, 280 gold, and 93 stone, which isn't bad. But on the way, I am going to recruit some more troops. We've got axe warriors here who are medium, good attack, and shielded. They are better than these dribbling imbeciles here. And we get some more Lycian axe warriors. Now, I'm just going to get 3 of these guys for now. Do I want 3 of them, or do I want some javelins? No, I want some javelins as well. The javelins are just incredible. They're not the best javelin types, of course. The light javelin skirmishers, they have poor defense. They don't have the shields, I don't believe. But javelins are so much better than the slingers. Yeah, you'll see. Also, bit like Warhammer, almost identical to Warhammer, the level ups work in the same way. You have skills to level up, but you have a choice. And each one of these choices, in this case, one will be for the self, and one of this will be directed towards the enemy. So if I went for a movable force, I will get plus 2.5% hit points to this hero, which you get for both of them. So you don't need to worry about that. But you also get a bonus where if my unit is dismounted, he gets a plus 25 armor, but he doesn't really move anymore. He loses his speed. Whilst on this side, we will reduce the melee defense of the enemy. Now, I quite like to reduce the melee defense of the enemy, and then if I was to get another level up, it will unlock these, and I can choose to have one or the other, or move down to level 3. So you can boost this skill with these, which is quite fun. You also have equipment, so over the game you will pick up equipment that you can then add, and items that you can then add to your chap. You can replace hero, you can view his records and all the rest. It's pretty identical to Warhammer. Right, enough of that. We've beaten Cleon. Our lands are now clear. I'm heading off up to Balbura because my idea is that Rhodes is a long way away. We need to take a boat. So we may as well take a little bit of time to put together our nearby resources and like. And some extra food would not go amiss. We don't really have a lot of it. It's all right for a beginning, but it's not a huge amount. Issue a Royal Decree is the new mission. 6 turns that will be cleared because we've already issued a Royal Decree. We're going to rush straight here first and settle. Now we're going to lose a lot of troops as well because of this. You can see these guys have been knackered, but I'm not overly worried. We cannot, unfortunately, build any thing here because we do not have any buildings that will allow us to do it. We need 600 wood to produce this. So we're not far away. Is there something we can do? Troy. No, you want nothing. Dardania, yes.
The gods bless our meeting.
Aeneas Defensive Alliance. You don't have a huge amount of wood. Paris, what about you? Paris isn't hugely interesting.
Some wine
and you just want that. How dull. Kerians want nothing extra. So I can just trade straight resources, which looks like I'm going to be able to... Looks like I'm going to have to do. So a single barter. I need wood. How much for... I mean, that's quite a lot of wood. I produce bronze. So I can give you a chunk of bronze. 50 for 70. That'll do the trick. Bronze, of course, is extraordinarily important. But, you know, we have lots of it. We're producing it. So I'm going to build a farming village here. That's going to up the settlement. Our replenishment is going to take some time, unfortunately. But, you know, it's fine. We're going to move him down towards Kalinda. And then we're going to have a look at Kaunos because they hate us. Right. Now here we have the option of upgrading this. If we upgrade this, we'll be able to get Eastern Spearmen and the Heavy Axe Warriors, which is extraordinarily tempting. Especially it's only food and bronze. Yeah, we'll do that. Then what else can we build? Nothing. It seems we are out of the resources needed to build anything. Yep. Okay, no problem. We'll get that. We definitely don't have enough wood. Next turn. So, still haven't given these Legolas tribe here. Oh, we've got land foundation, construction, and building. I haven't given them any military access because I want to take all of this for myself. That's the reason why I've done that. You can shift back here. This will now allow us to recruit more troops because we are going to need more troops for the coming war. Definitely want some more of them. I. And... I. 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 Do I want some more chariots? The chariots are very, very good, but they are going to use up a lot of wood. I don't have a lot of wood right now. Right, Telemesos. Do we want to build anything there, or do we want to build something here? We don't really need any of those buildings right at this moment in time. I think... So with these ones are not that great. This one here is incredible. You get so much stone and everything coming in, but it costs a fortune to build. This will bring in tons and tons and tons, but will reduce the growth, the population growth in your settlement, which isn't great. So you have to balance out what you want to do. This will reduce your influence. Our influence is 86%. So, you know, you really have to balance out what you want to do when you're building those things until you can afford the higher tier stuff. Which means that on this front, we can just drop this in. This is going to give us high influence per turn. Will bring us in more food. It's going to cost us a little bit, but not a huge amount. And we should be good. We could... We don't need that, really. That would just be me being greedy. Yeah, no, nothing else that I am particularly sold on. So we're just going to do that for now. We've got a little bit more gold. We've got 6 and 2. I guess what we could do, we have enough gold, is say, can we get another one, please? Yes, we can. And can't do it with them anymore, but we might with these guys. They're not particularly keen on us. Try it. What does this mean? I don't know what that means. Oh, yes, they have said yes, and we can't do any more, unfortunately, can't do any more this turn. That is a shame, but we're almost there to be able to upgrade, because I think we only need 20. Right, mission successful, muster the troops, we've got 12, fantastic, laying the foundations, construction any building done, thriving settlement, upgrade any settlement building. So that means to upgrade this thing here. Now, unfortunately, I've already upgraded that. I could have potentially waited, but I needed the stuff at the time. Do we need more stone? Or do we need something more exciting? Because obviously goods storage, construction costs, one press blah blah blah. Enacting raw decrees is very, very nice. We get the Kopesh fighters as well. That's not a bad option. We could, however, go for altars. Growth and all the rest will be quite good. Or we can start to throw in more stone. This is building up quite nicely. I think for Telemesos, we don't want a vineyard. We don't need happiness. Well, we do need happiness, actually. Represent growth, mud brick houses, chieftain's hall, humble warehouses, wood, food, recruitment cost of armies in this province, construction cost of buildings probably isn't a bad idea. We are not a wood producing settlement, though, so it doesn't really benefit us to do that. Influence over the province we don't need. Agents would be quite useful. So let's go for this, because the agents will be useful longer term. We still have enough to build. We'll reduce our influence, because we'll be able to balance that out a little bit later. You're going to shift right up towards Kaunos. And we are going to want to create some more soldiers. So now we can access these guys, the heavy axes and the eastern spearmen. So these guys are shielded, they're solid, reliable troops. These guys are hard hitters. What takes my fancy the most? We have a chunk of food, we have a chunk of... There. That works for me. That works very, very nicely. Now, Lycian trade missions, can we do this again? Give me more. Do I have... There, I do. Very nice. Goods. Sweet. Here we have 25. Distribute resources. Yes! Celestial Iron distributed. So for 4 turns we have a benefit. And this now gives us a Celestial Iron Greaves. +1 motivation, 5 melee defense of the hero. So were we to go to equipment, could we... Here, yes. Excellent. So this motivation is actually related to the loyalty to your commander, because the generals can lose motivation to fight for you. So ideally it's better off for someone else, but melee defense for Sarpedon, why not keep him alive in the battle for longer? Shift on for another turn. Just building up our forces, because it's going to come up with a mission to get to 20, if it hasn't already. And now we have a decent army. Kaunos. Kaunos, not hugely keen on us. Yeah, they're really not keen on us. Garrison-wise, they have a semi-decent garrison in this area. We have a solid enough army. Let's just upgrade that while we're here. We have a solid enough army. We could probably take that out without too much of a fight. These guys are still going to take turns to replenish. If we were in a food-producing settlement, it would be better. But I have no interest. So these people are going to be brought in. Yay! Do your thing. I am not fussed. No god is on our side. We have overwhelming chance of victory. So this, balance of power. I don't wholly trust it at all. See here it says close victory. This is a little bit, more reliable, but this balance of power doesn't really mean that much. But anyway, settlement battles are quite fun. You can see here, so this is not a walled settlement, this is a minor settlement, but you still get a sort of resource battle type map to play with. So let's go in and let's fight this, even though it's an easy auto-resolve. And you'll see, if you take the capture point, a timer starts and you can win just by holding the capture point in the city. He has some Centaur cavalry. The Centaur cavalry, so mythical creatures in this game have been sort of done as if they are humans in fancy dress. No, we have archers. So I can't see them. We'll have a look at them when I can see them. What I want to do is just check out some of these Eastern Spearmen, because I have not used them before. They look quite cool. I'm enjoying them. Our chariot guys here, fantastic. We've got our light skirmishers. Now, these light skirmishers unfortunately don't have the shield. Shielded javelin men are brilliant, but light skirmishers are great. They are really great troops. The Anatolian youths, of course, semi-naked chaps, are hard-hitting axes here, with our new axe warriors behind, and the heavy axes behind them with their armor. So we have a really decent battle line right now. Now, if you look at this map, we have opportunities for massive flanking. We've got this whole space over here that, if we were to... I don't think these guys can hide, but we'll try. But if we were to have some troops spread out just a little bit, we might be able to outflank the enemy really rather nicely. I'm going to want some of you boys here. I'm going to want you guys following. Heavy axe warriors are going to advance up here with more axes behind. The spears are going to come with these guys here. And I would like, yeah, you guys are already on this front. Everybody is in position. Brilliant. Okay, you guys are going to advance. Yeah, we split them up. So my chariot can't hide, but it means that they're holding units over here. He's got his Centaur Scouts now. Centaurs are really not half man, half horse. They're just chaps riding a horse, dressed up in a slightly barbaric fashion. If you have a look at them, they have javelins. They are really quite tasty troops. And I think if I remember rightly, I don't know if it's this province or another one in this region, because this is where centaurs, the mythic centaurs come from, this area, we can use this province as a base for recruiting more centaurs, I believe. I don't know if it is this province or the next one up. I know it's very, very close by to where Sarpedon is. Right, we're going to advance you guys as well. So, see here, they have that little fancy circle around them. That just means that they're like an epic, a mythic unit. Makes them a little bit more powerful. Now, this block, this is a roadblock here that we can't fight down. But we can shift our boys up there to see if we can deal with their slingers. You guys are going to advance all the way up here. So we're armor piercing, so we're going to hit really, really hard, but they're really, really good at dealing with skirmishers. We may actually take an absolute pounding there. That's not a good move by me. No, shift over here. What am I doing? Right. You guys, better position now. Advance up. So he's leaving a little bit of a gap here with his slingers. Okay, I can live with that. Skirmishers, I would like you in this long grass here, and I'm going to take you off skirmish mode. That's fine, he'll be able to cope. Where are my heavy axes? My heavy axes are the best shielded troops I have. I would like you to sit there where their skirmishers are and just thump the crap out of anything that comes up. You guys can come here, Sarpedon can be in the middle. Everyone's in position, good. You're throwing your rocks, which is important, because you chaps are now going to advance. And you can advance behind. Time for you to advance, let's go rain some arrows on them, please. Okay, how are we doing? He is moving up with his spearmen. They will be hard to shift. We do have our armor-piercing skirmishers, however. Be quite nice. Yeah, you guys shift a little bit further up. You guys can shift a little bit further up as well, because they're not realistically going to be able to do anything to you. You can just waste your stuff on them if you want. But I'm just going to chase you down. You can shift up here. Full unit of axe warriors, go stand there. You guys can shift there. And I think, yeah, over here. We can get ready to flank. So, here he comes. The enemy general with all of his people. We're moving up here. We've got a fight going on, which is exactly what we want. In we go. Axes, we're just going to have to thump straight through this line. There's nothing else for it. Come on. Deal with them. Sarpedon on him, if you don't mind. You heavy axe warriors, I want you to advance all the way down. You guys, advance all the way down. My javelins can throw over the top, and they're doing just that. I probably want you to advance, though. Ignore that fight there, and just keep going. Just keep going. Can we push through and dig into their centaurs, though? That would be ideal. If we can pin their centaurs, that would be absolutely magnificent. Right. Go, go, go. Whilst they have their back turned. Go, 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 go. How are we doing? Charge. Heavy axes are absolutely wrecking over there. You guys throw your stuff. Sarpedon, how are you? Dread of Ares. Boom.
Your warriors are losing heart.
Which warriors are losing heart? Oh, over here. Yeah, fair enough. Come on. Pull yourselves together, chariots. In here, let's finish this off, because this has become a slugfest. One that we don't really stand the best chance of coming out of. Why is their morale going back up after that charge? That's such a disappointing... That charge was so pathetic, it actually boosted the morale of the bloody enemy. That's disappointing. Right, shift. Forward, forward, forward. You guys, go kill them. Make sure they don't come back. You advance up here. Axe, axe. Charge. Right. Anatolian youths. Hunt those slingers. Spearmen, I want you here. Alright. Heavy axes, you've done your bit. Shift to the top of the town. You guys are fighting there. It's now getting a little bit too tasty. They've broken, though. They've broken. Which means we can now advance. Advance. Sarpedon should be able to handle that by himself. Thump him. Oh, he's not quite thumped, but he will be soon. Okay, they're running. Charge. All of you guys, charge. They are completely routed. deal with them. That means all of you guys pin these centaurs, because the centaurs are quite dangerous. Sarpedon is struggling to make him run. He's a fighter champion, so he's quite good at fighting. That's why Sarpedon's been taking a little bit of a beating. But Sarpedon should win. He's a higher level and he's an epic champion. Yeah, now he's running. Now he's running. Good, good, good. Over here, throw your sticks. You throw your rocks in this direction. You guys, yeah, if you don't mind, smash them. Our spears have attacked them in the rear. How did they not know that was coming? Come on, lads. Come on, lads. Keep pushing forward. Right, they have completely broken. Let's reform chariots up in this direction. Do you know what? Chariots, get in there. No, no, don't get in there. Get around the side. Anatolian youth, I'd like you to form up on this flank, if you don't mind. No, they've broken. They've broken. It's victory. It's done. It is done. Very good. Decisive victory. Yeah, enjoyed that. But again, like I said, I'm not very good with him. I'm still getting used to how he works. I do love my javelins, though. They didn't do as much damage as I'd have hoped in that battle, but just because of where they're positioned and who they were shooting against. But I do love my javelins. Decisive victory, done. Standard options, but you also have the option to raise as well now. We're going to occupy. And we've got an exceptional warrior, Kaunos. So, men of great stature and impressive might have been sighted here. If we welcome them with a place to meet, drink and train, they will fight for our cause. So basically, in Kaunos, there is an impressive warrior. You can recruit heroes, recruit agents, and all the rest here. We've got Glaukos, Mesos, blah, 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 like tons different ones that we can hire. What they have here is motivation. Motivation, you want to keep motivation high so they keep fighting for you well. And also, we don't have the ability, but you can recruit envoys, spies, and priestesses. We, of course, don't have any buildings that allow us to do that. What you can do, however, is also recruit epic agents. Now, these are Gorgons, mythical Gorgons. This is a satyr, and these are seers. So you also have the mythical options for recruitment too. Kaunos has become ours. You can see we can recruit centaurs here. This isn't a building chain that you really want in this thing. We want it in Knidos instead, if it's available in Knidos. I'm not 100% certain. I've never played Sarpedon long enough to have taken Knidos to check. But if it is, you want it built in Knidos because then you'll be able to get the top tier Centaur champions and Centaur elders. But even then, the Savage Centaur Warriors, Heavy Cavalry are really, really good, and the Centaur Scouts, as you saw, took a lot of killing. They're quite a lot of fun. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is enough for this preview. For Sarpedon, he's quite interesting. He has all the trade power of a Kong Rong with all the fighting skill of somebody competent. Unlike Kong Rong, who just wasn't. Having taken Kaunos, what I would do with Sarpedon if I was to continue this campaign, head into Fiskos next, because this is a gold settlement and they are rare as. If we can get hold of that, you've seen how we've been able to build and build and build our stockpiles of precious resources through using gold. We take hold of this, oh my god, it goes really, really well. Because we have 4 turns of benefits, but we did get a permanent ancillary from it as well. Then after that, I go to Knidos and take that. Knidos, yes, no, I can get the centaurs in Knidos. Fantastic. I don't think they have a precious resource. However, these guys do. Celestial Iron, which is quite nice, but they're part of the Carians who are our allies, so we don't want to piss them off too much. What I would also do is recruit another army and get them to come up here and just claim these territories too before anyone else does. It's not hugely expensive and will be very, very quick. To do so, a couple of turns you could take it, and then you can build up your food stockpiles. You'll have 2 provinces, then a third once you've taken this out. And once you have this, then you can go to Rhodes and deal with these pesky idiots here, where they have a bronze mine. You can see that there, that is a bronze mine symbol. So, not bronze mine, what am I talking about? You don't mind bronze, a bronze forgery symbol. So, that is it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe down below. If, of course, you would like to see me do a Perfect Start series for this, I don't know what the interest will be for Troy on my channel. I am quite enjoying the game. But if any of you want to see a campaign as well, let me know down below and let me know which faction you would like to see, because I'm up for playing it in between other things. I'm up for playing it. It's quite fun. It is really quite fun. But I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.